Good morning, friends. I am ready to be an avid reader, and I hope you are too. Lately, we've been talking about a lot of strategies to help us become an avid reader. We've talked about how we can play school with our books, how we can play games with our books, and with those games, we were practicing how to go on snap word hunts, play Guess What's Next, Guess the Feeling, all of those fun games. Well, today we're going to continue talking about ways to make you become a better avid reader. And think about when you go to the movies. When you're at the movies and the movie is playing, you're thinking about it and imagining it in your brain at the same time. And that's what an avid reader does too. As they're reading the story, it's like a movie going on in their brain. They are imagining what's going on. And when you are using your imagination, like when you're reading, then you can do different things to help you become more of an avid reader. Over here on this screen, I showed you how you could play pretend. And when we pretend, we can do different things with our stories. We can act out different parts of the story, and we can use gestures. That means you use your hands or your legs to help you act out the parts. So that's another way that I want you to practice being an avid reader. Remember the story that we read a long time ago called Mrs. Wishy-Washy? She had those animals that were on the farm, and they all kept getting into the mud. And then Mrs. Wishy-Washy had to come out and give them all a bath, didn't she? So as you were reading that story, and I know when I read that story, it's almost like that movie is going on in my brain and I'm imagining it. I'm pretending. So I'm going to make a copy of that book, Mrs. Wishy-Washy, and as you're reading it today, during your reading time, I want you to practice by playing pretend. I want you to act out some of those parts. And I want you to use your gestures, use your hands, use your feet. So let's think about that book, Mrs. Wishy-Washy. The animals jump in the mud. So you could pretend like you're jumping in the mud. And then when she gives them a bath, she says, wishy-washy, wishy-washy. And you could pretend like you are cleaning the horse or the cow or the duck, all of those animals that get into the mud. And then remember that one part when Miss Wishy-Washy said, all better. And all of the animals just sat there, and then she turned around and went back into the house. And then remember what the animals did? They all ran back to the mud and said, oh, lovely mud. Yes, that was a fun book. So I want you to practice that today. I want you to play pretend. I want you to act out some of the parts. And then I want you to use your hands, use your feet, use your gestures as you're reading the story. That way, it's almost like there is a movie going on in your brain at the same time that you're reading the story. And that, my friends, is something that an avid reader does. So I hope you enjoy rereading Mrs. Wishy-Washy. That's a hard thing to say really fast. And think about it when you're reading your other books, because a good avid reader reads for 15 to 20 minutes a day. You can also play pretend with those stories. You can use your gestures. You can act out those parts, just like the movies. I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope you enjoy rereading Mrs. Wishy-Washy. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.